Welcome friends, myself Professor Nilesh Kade and I am going to teach you company law and administration as a part of online classes, right? So we will start with your unit number 1, which is introduction to company, more specifically joint stock companies, right? And let us start with the business itself, because every company does the business, be it for profit or not for profit. Every company does the business, right? Now business is an important invention made by and for the mankind that satisfies almost all needs, wants and desires. Every living being has to satisfy its needs. But more specifically, when we speak about the human beings also have wants and desires. Now needs, wants and desires are all unlimited, but the resources that we have on earth is very much limited. With these limited resources, we have to satisfy unlimited needs, wants and desires, which is an impossible task. But this impossible task is made possible with the business, and this business, without these businesses we would not have done anything else, right? And therefore to satisfy all the needs, wants and desires of almost everybody on earth, we have to continue with the businesses, right? And with businesses, one such thing where changes are taking place according to the needs, wants and desires of the people, which always works for the people, right? And which is always run by the people. So it is an invention by the mankind, right? And there are different kinds of businesses, right? We'll speak about this later. There are various forms of businesses, where company is one such firm which gives added benefits to the people who are running the business. And what is that? Is one such form of business which is well regulated, right? Company is very much well regulated. We have regulations to run a company, which is given by the government itself, right? Which is well regulated, which is governed by government as well as owners. Government also have control over the company, and the owners also have control over the company. How is that possible? Government has given us guidelines through company law, right? And there are various other laws like SEBI regulations are there, RBI's, there are many others like taxation. And then the owners are the shareholders, right? So shareholders, in the shareholders meeting that you have learned, in the shareholders meeting we appoint the board of directors who control, who manage the company and who administer the company, right? So directly or indirectly, owners are those people who are completely having control over the company. And this is how company is regulated by both government and owners, right? This is the added benefit with the company. Companies are business entities which are managed. Okay, management part of company will be learnt later, but which will be managed by and administered by and governed by the persons and regulated by the government, right? So this is what we have learnt in the previous point. Company is a legal construct, the point which tells it everything. Company is a legal construct. It is construction made by the law. It is not the construction of nature. We human beings, individuals are the construction of nature, right? That is how we understand. Company is a legal construct. In the eyes of law, company is a person. If there is no law, there is no company, right? So the introduction part we will carry on. The traditional form of business organizations suffered from following disadvantages. Traditional form of business means taking the goods for lesser price and selling it for higher price. This is the traditional form, right? So be your small business like a small shop, be your small hotel, be your small manufacturing hub. What were they doing? They were taking the goods, they were processing it if required, and they were supplying it further for higher price, and the difference between higher and lower will be the profit for the owners, for the people who do such business, right? So that is the traditional form of business, but that was suffering from these four disadvantages. And what was that? Limited capital. If suppose friends, if I start the business right now, if I want to open a shop, whatever garments shop or shoe shop or any other electronics shop, I want capital, right? I personally may bring limited capital, but if I ask 100 people to bring the capital, they will bring more money, right? So limited capital was there in earlier form of business. And also unlimited liability. Unlimited liability means if my business is suffering from losses because I have more debts, because those creditors who have given me debts, those people who have given me money, they will come to my home and they will snatch my personal property as well, because I have unlimited liability with my business. If there are losses in the business which I am running, then my personal property is into problem, right? This is unlimited liability. This was the disadvantage earlier, okay? And then lack of managerial ability. Managerial ability, see, I personally can have degree in one field or two fields, chalo 3 fields. I cannot have mastery over all the fields. Like I am very good at accounting, then I can manage accounting part. But what about documentation, drafting document? I may not be good at it. And therefore I can hire such person who is good at it and ask him to do this work. Okay, fine. What about technical things? If I have a manufacturing hub and in that manufacturing hub I want some technical people to work, right? I will hire those technical people and I will ask them to work for me. But the problem is, can I have those technical skill as well? If it is there in me, can I work everywhere? In the manufacturing unit I have to work, in the administration unit I have to work, in the accounts department I have to work, in marketing department I have to work, everywhere. Because it is my business, I have to work. It does not mean like that. Because I am doing business, I can employ some person who is good at it and I can get the expertise of such person to get the work done. And this is possible in company form of business, not on sole proprietorship, right? So if I want to expand my business, I must get the expertise from those people who are experts, right? And then the lack of continuity. It means if I die today, my business will also die. If I am declared bankrupt, if I am declared insolvent, if I am declared insane means going mad. If I am declared insane by the court, then my business is in trouble. That was the problem, that was the issue in earlier type of businesses, traditional form of business. Now all those disadvantages are fulfilled by the company only. The name company will satisfy all these disadvantages. Limited capital you have, you form a company and you can sell your shares to get the money from the people, public company, right? So limited capital is not a disadvantage now. Unlimited liability, because company is a legal construct. We have a separate legal entity recognition. We have separate entity recognition for the company only. And because it is separate legal entity, my personal property is not in danger. My personal property, nobody can touch it, because company is in loss. I cannot sell my personal property, right? So that is unlimited liability. We also call it as corporate veil. We will speak about this later. Lack of managerial ability, because I have formed a company, I can appoint such directors, such managers who have expertise in such fields, in respective fields, right? And then the lack of continuity will also be satisfied, because company is a separate legal entity. It will go on working forever. Even if I die, I am the founder of that company, I have created that company. Even if I die, company will still be running, right? We have thousands of such examples of companies where companies have were formed by people and those founders are dead now, but the company is still into the market and doing very good business. So company will never die. A company will die only when the legal construct I mean to say, the legal construct of the company is stopped, or when the company is wound up, or when the company goes into liquidation, or when the company amalgamates with some other company, or if the company is acquired by some other company. In short, if the company goes into liquidation, the company dies. Otherwise, the company goes on forever, lives on forever. Right? So it has no point in discussing about the lack of continuity with the companies. So all these disadvantages are satisfied by the companies only, right? Now the word company is derived from two Latin words. The word company is derived from Latin words. This comes under the etymology. Com means together, and panis means to bread, which means to work together, to bread together. We will come together, we all will come together, and we will work for the bread that we want to have. Bread means food, right? So the word company has this meaning. It is about the etymology. So that's all about the introduction of the company, why the company is required. We will see more videos in the next upcoming days, right? Till then, stay safe, stay healthy. Thank you.